What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Quinn Wade, Quinny W20 here, coming to you with a quick video on my guy Westbrook. As you know, a lot of people ain't a huge fan of Westbrook because he turns the ball over, he takes stupid shots, and he has horrible shot selection. And he never runs the offense. He just says sometimes he get mad and just do whatever he wants to do, which is really uncoachable. But Westbrook has been having a phenomenal season. He's third in scoring with 25, almost 26 a game. He's averaging 7 assists, 6 rebounds. He's shooting 43% from the field, which is decent. Well, it's actually below average. You want to shoot 45 as you're a volume shooter, but he is taking 20 shots a game, people. That's a whole lot of shots to take a game. He's taking 20 shots a game, and he only making almost 9 of them. So he making 8 of them, but it's close to 9. So he taking 20 shots a game. Well, he almost at 21. So he's making 8 out of 21 shots. That's a whole lot of shots to take in a whole game, and you the point guard. Then he's still averaging 7 to 8 assists, which is showing that he can score and facilitate. And he plays amazing defense. He's a good one-on-one defender. He stays in front of this guy. He never gives up on plays. He always fighting through screens. He's engaged in the game, and it's a good person to see that they got that intensity and that compassion to play as hard as Russell Westbrook does. But sometimes his emotion and his confidence get the best of him. He likes to take a lot of stupid shots. He likes to go to the paint with two people in the. He likes to go to the paint with two people right in front of him and shoot a layup over both people and hit a brick. Like Westbrook is one of those players. He can make 3 shots and he can miss like 7 in a row because his shot selection is horrible. I always say, if Chris Paul had the Westbrook body, Chris Paul would be a top 5 player all time. Because remember, especially in New Orleans, you look how Chris Paul averaged 20 and 10 on 50% shooting and 40% from three-point line in New Orleans, and he only 6 feet, and he's just quick. His basketball IQ is ridiculous. The average 20 and 10 and 4 rebounds. Just imagine if Chris Paul was 6'3", 200 pounds, quick, athletic, and fast, and had the same IQ he got now. That'd be like the perfect point guard. He probably would be better than Magic Johnson because Magic Johnson was an amazing player, but Chris Paul can shoot threes. He can shoot mid-range. He can finish in the paint, but he just don't have the body and the quickness to be explosive and dunk and do all that quickness stuff, the athletic things. But if Chris Paul had Russell Westbrook body, Chris Paul would be a Hall of Famer, top 10 player all time, just off stats. Just imagine what he'd do with that type of body. But Westbrook just don't have an IQ. He just don't have a high IQ. He turns the ball over way too much, and it's because of his decision. He averaging 3.7 turnovers a game. He always averaged 3 a game. One season, 2 seasons, he almost averaged 4. He almost had 4 this season. Like I said, his decision making, he passes too much. He forces up too many shots. He goes to the paint reckless and gets charges. And it's just because he plays with too much aggression. If he can learn how to, like John Wall, if he can learn how to control his pace and his tempo and become a well-balanced player, pick your spots. Pick when to score. Pick when to go to paint. Pick where to score and pass. If he can get his basketball IQ a little higher, if he had a better coach that actually put an offensive system around him, and he can he can run the offense. Like, say if you got Greg Popovich, for example, that lets him be the point guard, but he runs the offense, and the ball ain't always in his hands. Like, the ball always in Westbrook's hand. If they can take the ball out of his hands a little bit, let him become a role player sometimes. Let him get to the basket, get some cuts, get some spot up threes, get some spot up mid range. Let him get his usage rate down a little bit, and let him play in a system like Atlanta. Let Westbrook play in a system. And so you don't have to worry about all the turnovers and a bad shot selection. Because the more times you got the ball in your hand, the more things you can do. The less time you got the ball in your hands, the more you are controlled. Because you have to play off your teammates. And you got to play off the system. You run in a play and it has to go right. But since his system that he plays with in OKC relies so much on isolation, and it's dribble, score, dribble, come off a screen, shoot, dribble, go to the screen, go right to the pick and roll. All they do is use pick and roll with Ibaka and use pin downs on Kevin Durant. That's not really an offensive system. They ain't really running that many plays in OKC. And if Russell Westbrook wants to become a point guard that can have low turnovers, like Chris Paul averaging almost 10 assists, well, barely 2 turnovers. He almost had 1 turnover a game, and he's averaging 10 assists. Like I said, Westbrook is averaging 7 assists and almost at 4 turnovers. So if he can get his usage rate down a little bit less, he just needs to go to the right team that a coach can utilize him and put him in a system that makes him use his strengths more than shooting. I mean, look at how many threes he's shooting, man. Westbrook is shooting. He's a 20% shooter he a 30% shooter for his career. He's shooting 3 threes a game, almost 4 threes a game, and he's only making 1 out of 4, and he's shooting 28%. If they can actually put Westbrook in a system that use his strengths every possession instead of relying him to use his IQ and to force things and create offense by himself, let him play an offense that controls and helps him get in positions where he can score. Get him on some pin downs. Get him on some handoffs, some drop offs. Get him some easy baskets. Westbrook could easily be. I think it's like James Harden, Stephen Curry, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. I think all them players is better than Russell Westbrook. And I can't put, like I said before, I don't think Westbrook is a top 5 player because he's not better than none of them 5 players I just named. To me, that's just my personal opinion. But he definitely is a top 10 player, and this year is showing. But he's still highly flawed. He's a highly flawed player, and he's like a high risk player. Like he's a high risk, good reward. Sometimes what he do pays off, but most of the time, and like you seen in the game against the Pelicans when he just missed all them stupid layups and he kept going to the paint over 2 people and missing wide open bricking layups because he was going too fast and he went right into 2 people. He kept missing layups. If Westbrook can get the right coach that can utilize his strengths and get the ball out of his hand a little bit more and get him some easy baskets, Westbrook should be good. That's just my opinion, though. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to check out my older videos. You like this video, like my older videos, subscribe, and thanks for the view.